Why do we need a brush that is literally bigger than our heads? Why? Hey everyone, welcome back. My name is Carmel, and in today's video we have our monthly beauty roundup. So today I'm going to be taking you through all of the products that I loved, that I didn't love, and that were just okay in May. So if that sounds like something that you might be interested in, then please do keep on watching. So you'll be very pleased to hear that I will not be rambling today because it is about 1,000,000,000 degrees here in Ireland. We have decided to have a heat wave here and we are not equipped for it. So I am going to probably melt right in front of your eyes. So to avoid that happening, I'm going to really make this concise. Okay, so no waffling. If I start to waffle, let me know. So do you know what? May was a really mixed month. I found some products that I felt were the best products that I've ever tried, but I also tried some really disappointing products as well. So I want to start off with some brushes first, and these are the dual-ended brushes from Morphe. Now I don't have every single brush that they came out with in this line, but I bought a couple and then I went back and got another one. I think there's only about 5 in total. These are so good. Oh my goodness. So I already have a bunch of their core line brushes, and these are really, really excellent brushes. But these dual-ended ones, what is going on? There is something seriously, insanely amazing about these. They seem to be made differently to the previous brushes. So although the previous brushes were amazing, these have just excelled. So you've got the Morphe M160 dual-ended powder brush. So this is amazing for any kind of powder. So you can use the fluffy side for whether it be setting powder, finishing powder. I love to use it for blush. And the other side has a smaller powder brush, so you can use this under your eyes when you are setting your under eyes. But I absolutely love this for powder highlighter. It's absolutely brilliant. So then you've got the M100, which is a face brush. So you've got kind of two angled sides. So the bigger side I love to use for foundation, whether it be cream or liquid. And then the other side has an angled concealer brush, which is a beautiful concealer brush. And then you have the M240, which is a dual sculpt brush. So on one side, you've got this angled sculpting brush, which is amazing for cream products. So cream contour, cream bronzer, cream blush. And then on the other side, I still like to use this for powder, but can you see how it's slightly angled? It kind of has this little area that is slightly cut out. It's amazing for just hugging the cheeks. These are insanely good. Not just the shape of them, but the quality of these. They feel a little bit softer. They just feel like they are a little bit higher quality. I don't know if these have been made differently to the previous ones because I did try and research whether they had, and it's not clear whether they've been made from different kind of bristles. But wow, these are absolutely worth it. Now, they're not the cheapest. I think they're around €20 each. However, you can always get Morphe on a discount wherever you are purchasing from. So whether it's Look Fantastic, whether it's Cult Beauty, Morphe, always on sale. Let's chat for a little minute about brow products. So this first one, I have mentioned it in a favorites video, but I haven't actually included it in a separate review yet. But I have a drugstore video coming up with some absolutely insanely good new drugstore makeup, and I will talk about it more in that one. But this is a new brow pen from Maybelline. This is the Maybelline Brow Inserts. So this is in the shade Black Brown. So that's the brow pen. And it's so different to anything else that I have because it has a triple tip and it's so precise and so amazing for when you have sparse brows. Now it does take a little bit of getting used to because I'm used to using something like the ABH brow pen, which is just one single tip. But this has literally cut my brow time in half. So yeah, just pressing really, really lightly. It gives the finest of hair strokes. They last all day. Absolutely beautiful brow pen. This has become my go-to everyday brow pen. The thing is with this is I don't really get my money's worth because I don't use the other end, which is the brow gel. So this comes as a tinted brow gel. So whatever shade you pick up, the tint is going to be the same. I don't use that side because I don't really like tinted brow gels. I prefer them to be clear. I don't have any brows to tint. That's the problem. But if you do, you will appreciate it. And it does give really good hold for sparse brows and for cutting down brow time. Wow. I didn't think I would love it, but I do. The other brow product that I've really enjoyed this month is this one from the Sephora collection. This is the Fluff and Fix Brow Wax. I'm really into brow waxes. I just find that they really find every teeny weeny tiny hair and they just give you fuller looking eyebrows. So again, this is a clear product, so not tinted. This isn't my number one brow wax. However, I really enjoy using it. So some of my other favorite brow waxes, so for example, this one is my favorite right now, the Essence Brow Lift and Freeze Glue. This is absolutely amazing. This is better than any other brow wax I've ever tried in my whole entire life. So this one gives you more of a laminated type look, not extreme, but it gives you fuller looking eyebrows. This is more natural and, you know, not everybody wants to find every teeny tiny hair, especially if you have fuller brows. If you do, I'm very jealous of you. But if you want more natural, if you want a more of a natural hold, this is absolutely brilliant. And honestly, the Sephora collection, for me, they are so affordable. They are becoming cheaper than L'Oreal. I know. So don't rule out the Sephora collection when you are looking for new products because they produce some incredible stuff. I haven't tried any new eyeshadow palettes, I don't think, in May, But this month, really, I was focused on eyeshadow pens. So there were two that I tried. So first of all, this is the Colourpop Shadow Sticks. These are not new, but they're new to me. I've actually been using this for longer than just May. And I have to say, these are absolutely brilliant. These are absolutely phenomenal. So I have this in the shade Cocktail Party, which is just a really nice neutral matte brown. This just makes my life so easy on a day-to-day basis. This particular eyeshadow stick has become my absolute everyday go-to shade. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to worry about it. It's so incredibly easy to blend out. It sits on the eyes beautifully. It's very natural looking and it lasts all day. And these are about $10. So you can order Colourpop if you are outside of the US. I have actually just put in another order because I'm just so jealous of people that get to live in the US and order from Colourpop whenever you want. I think they are fantastic. I cannot fault any product that I've tried from them. So yeah, I know I'm so overdue the full face of Colourpop. It's coming soon, I promise. Those eyeshadow sticks, so I do have a shimmery one as well, but I definitely prefer the matte. Yeah, I'm really liking matte eyeshadow these days. Now the other eyeshadow stick that I tried was this one from Dior. This is a lot more expensive than this one. So this is the Diorshow Flash Stick and I got this in the shade 658, which is Beige Mitzah. This is fine. I've got it on my eyes today. I really like it. It's a nice shadow stick. It blends beautifully. This one has a little bit more of a satin / metallic-y finish. It's fine. I like it. I wear it and I use it. Do I think it's anything special? No. Would I purchase another one? No, I wouldn't. And I'm a big Dior fan. So, you know, I always like to like their products, but you're always going to get honesty around here. So you get a little bit more in the Dior. You get 1.6 grams as opposed to 1.3 grams. But to be quite honest with you, which eyeshadow stick do I prefer out of these two? It's the Colourpop. It is. I love it. I don't know why anybody would want to go and spend. I mean, how much did this cost me? Probably 30 euros. Why would you want to spend 30 euros when you can get this for $10? Why would you do that? I don't get it. I don't get it. They blend the same. They perform the same. It just doesn't make sense to me. So yes, I like this, but I love this. And it just makes no sense to me to buy a 30 euro shadow stick when they do the exact same thing. Concealers were absolutely terrible this month. Not good at all. So listen, when I review something and I say that I didn't love it, I don't just put it in a drawer never to be used again. Prior to my review, I would have been testing it. And then after the review, I continue to try it because skin changes on a daily basis. And mine definitely does. So 2 concealers I tried, they are not new concealers, but they were new to me. So the first one is this one from Kulfi. This is the main match concealer. I had this in the shade Coco Crush. I had such high hopes for this because I tried a little bit of Kulfi and been blown away, and everybody told me that this concealer was absolutely amazing. Oh, it hates me. It really hates me, this concealer, and I don't know why. And people did comment under my initial review saying, maybe it's because of the eye cream that you're wearing. And I was aware that there could be something in this concealer that was not compatible with my under eye serums. So I have tried it with several serums and creams, and I'm still having the same outcome. It looks dry under my eyes. So it doesn't feel dry, but it looks kind of flaky. And I can't even describe it as pilling, if I'm completely honest. It just looks really bitty under my eyes, and I'm really not sure what the problem is. I think it must be an ingredient in this that just doesn't mesh with my under eyes, and I'm so sad about it because I really wanted to love it. I think the shade match is beautiful. I think the coverage is fairly decent. I mean, it's not full coverage, probably a medium. It's nice under the eyes until you zoom in and you can see it flaking under the eyes. So yes, I continue to try it after my review, and it's just not happening, my friends. It's not happening. The other concealer I tried was from the US. This is the Neutrogena Radiant Cream Concealer. This is not available in Europe, but I got it from the US, and I don't like it. It doesn't like me, this concealer, at all. So this is supposed to be a dupe for the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. That's seen better days, probably expired. I probably wore that concealer for a decade and wore nothing else under my under eyes because I loved it and it loved me. And then I aged. Yeah, I aged and I got really dry skin. And from that point, I've not been able to wear the NARS. This is really almost an identical concealer to the NARS. I am not even joking. So if you love the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, get this instead. To be honest with you, it gives a decent amount of coverage. I just don't like how it sits under my eyes. That's just being completely honest with you. It's just not for me. But just because it's not for me, it doesn't mean that you won't love it. There were people in my comment section saying that, wow, that Neutrogena concealer is my holy grail. Please don't get offended when I don't like something. I don't get offended when people come to me and say that they hate one of my recommendations. I mean, yes, my heart does break just a tiny little bit, but I don't get offended. I know that everybody's skin is different. If I was to choose between these two concealers, the Kulfi and the Neutrogena, I'm going for the Neutrogena, okay? It still lays kind of okay under the eyes. I just don't love it. I think there's better out there for your money. Concealer was not good this month at all. Unfortunately, the mascara category gets no better than the concealer category. In fact, it gets worse. I tried two of the worst mascaras I've ever used in May. I did. So the first one is another one that I got from the US. This is the CoverGirl Eye Enhancer. This is a tubing mascara, and it's probably the worst tubing mascara I've ever tried. So, right, to be fair to it, what it does do is it does lengthen your lashes, okay? It lengthens them, but my lashes look so spidery when I have this on. And someone actually commented in my review on this saying that they hated it too and it felt like tar on the lashes. And you know what? That actually makes so much sense. It kind of feels a little bit sticky. And I love tubing mascaras, so I really wanted to love this. No, and it's kind of a wet formula, which I don't really dig either. Dig? Why am I talking like this? Don't like it. No, I didn't like it at all. No, it was awful. And the other one that I tried was this one from Milani. Oh my gosh. And I think this cost me about 18 euros, even 20 euros maybe, because Milani is not cheap here. So this is the highly rated Fan Club Fanning Mascara. Look at the size of this brush. Why do we need... Why do we need a brush that is literally bigger than our heads? Why? It's just not necessary. So not only does it have the biggest brush in the world, it has the most curved brush in the world. And when you have deep set eyes like me, that is a recipe for disaster because I literally cannot get to the base of my lashes. And even when I do, this deposits so much product that it clumps my lashes together, and it also feels fairly heavy. So even when I've curled my lashes, this just makes them drop. Yeah, and you know, I just can't do it. big waste of money. I would never repurchase either of these two. If you want a good mascara, I know I keep banging on about this. It's what I've got on today. This Maybelline Sky Tubes. I've actually ordered another tube already of this because I love it so much. I'm not paid by Maybelline to talk about this or anything else. I wish I was. I really do wish I was. This mascara, it is the best. I've already ordered another tube. Who even does that? I never do that with mascaras. That's how much I love this. Don't bother. Save your money. Get the Maybelline. Seriously, it's so good. I feel like I'm being really negative today, and I'm really not meaning to be, but I have to be honest with my experiences. Right, let's talk about this one. This is from Lancôme. This is the Teint Idole Ultra Wear Shape Stick. So this is a reformulation of their original foundation stick. Basically, they've reformulated it, they brought it back, and you can use it as a foundation, as a contour, as a blush. There's loads of different shades. So this is in the shade 260 Bisque, which is the darkest shade in the lightest category. So I think the shades do run light, so just be wary of that. Here's the thing, I have grown to like this a little bit more than what I did. Now, in my review, I said that I thought that this was really beautiful to blend out, really easy to apply. Literally, you can do it within seconds. However, I just didn't find that it sat beautifully on my skin. So sometimes I find that it sits around my pore area, it can emphasize my pores, and it can cling to dry patches. So I had like significant dryness for a couple of weeks over the time that I was testing this. And every time that I wore this foundation, it would literally just stick to my dry patches. Now, one thing that I really want you to take note of with this foundation stick is one of the ingredients. So it was one of my beautiful friends that commented this and said, well, you might find it a little bit drying because one of the ingredients is cornstarch. I know, right? Cornstarch. I didn't even know that they put this into foundations. Apparently, the use of cornstarch is used in foundations to help to absorb excess oils and create a soft focus blurring effect. However, if you have drier skin, this can be problematic. So it can cling to dry patches, emphasize texture on mature or dehydrated skin, and can feel slightly drier over time. So here's what I'm going to tell you about this foundation stick. I've had a better experience since my review because this is how I use this. I will lather on the most hydrated, thick moisturizers and sunscreens that I can before I use this. And when I do, it sits really, really nicely. So when I go in with like my Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream, for example, and follow it with something like this, the Beauty of Joseon SPF, when I lather that on, they are really, really glowy products and my skin feels really plump and hydrated. And then I go in with this, it looks nice. But if I am lacking a little bit of moisture, if I've got dry patches, if I've got particularly dehydrated skin that day, it's a no-go. Now, my friend Clara, please go and check out her channel over at Beauty is Ageless 55. She said that she thinks this is a beautiful product and she has kind of combo oily skin. So yeah, I think it really does depend on your skin type. It's not a terrible product at all. And as I said in my initial review, it's a great product for touch-ups throughout the day. It's great for that. But yeah, it can be tricky for drier skin. So the next product we're going to talk about is this one from Laura Mercier. This is the Tinted Blur Balm. I have this in the shade 02. It looks like I really like this product, doesn't it? Because look at this, I've had it a month and I'm almost out. No, this is because you get such a teeny weeny tiny amount of product in this. So you get 5 grams of product in this complexion balm. This is one of the most beautiful products I've ever put on my face. So it is a really incredibly lightweight balm that absolutely blurs the skin. Okay, it gives a really natural look to the skin, so nothing matte or lifeless about it. And so when I first got this, I was really giddy and I was using this as a foundation and couldn't believe how quick I hit pan. Honestly, this cannot be used as a standalone foundation. If you do, you are going to be poor. Yeah, you are. You're going to be poor because this is €42 for 5 grams. This should be marketed a little bit differently. I don't know how you would market this, but look, I have people in my comment section saying, well, I've been using it for 5-6 weeks and I have not hit pan yet. Well, that's probably because you're only using it literally like minimally. So maybe brushing it over your pores, your T-zone. That is fine. But this is not marketed as a touch-up product, okay? So this is a blurring balm, which gives me the impression that you are supposed to use it all over the face. And yeah, it's going to give you that beautiful, blurred, airbrushed, natural look to the skin. And I love the product. Oh my goodness, it's absolutely gorgeous. But you cannot use it as a standalone foundation. So if you need a bit of coverage, you're going to go through it really quickly like I have. So here's what I've done today. So today I used my favorite L'Oreal balm, the new one. I love that. So I used a bit of the Laura Mercier, then I topped it up with this and then went in again with just a little bit of this just around my T-zone. And using it minimally like that is absolutely fine. But seriously, Laura Mercier, what are you thinking? What? 5 grams? What? I thought L'Oreal were bad, giving us 8 grams, but that does actually give you quite a bit of coverage, so you don't need to use as much of it, and it's such a shame because it's an incredible product and it lasts and wears so beautifully all day long. Like 5 grams of product, give us some more and it will be perfection. I tried quite a few good bronzers this month. So the first one is this one from MAC. This is the Skinfinish Sunstruck Matte Bronzer. So they have reformulated their blushes and their bronzers, and this is so nice. This is in the shade Medium Rosy, so that you can get these in a matte or a radiant finish. So I went for the matte finish. Now this is an absolutely beautiful product, but I don't think it's going to be for everybody because it's very soft. I was trying to decide between light rosy and medium rosy, and usually I would err on the lighter side, but looking at the swatches I could see that they weren't very deep at all. So I think that if you like quite pigmented bronzer, then this isn't going to be for you. This is supposed to be very natural on the skin, kind of barely there, and it has that nice little rosy undertone, but it's very, very subtle. It's a beautiful bronzer. Now, my favourite bronzer of the month, and it's my favourite bronzer that I've tried in a long time, and it's this one from Morphe. So this is the Cheek Thrills Bronze and Tone Duos. This is in the shade Maui Surf, and I'm a big fan of the Cheek Thrills cream blushes. I did not think I would fall so in love with this bronzer because it's just a bronzer, right? It's just a bronzer. I'm definitely more of a blush than a bronzer fan. Oh, wow. I don't know if it's this shade, but it just sits so perfectly on my skin. The formula is creamy but lightweight, and it literally blends and it just sinks into my skin. It becomes one with my skin. So my all-time favorite bronzer is this one from Makeup by Mario, the Skin Enhancer. I love this. I adore it so much. This one here, it's not as emollient feeling as the Mario and not as natural, but still it's like a step up. It's like a slightly more pigmented version of the Mario. It's not as glowy as the Mario. This is more of a satin finish. I cannot even describe my love for this bronzer. Honestly, it is so flattering on the skin. And so many people have said to me recently that they kind of struggle with creams. I really do not think you could struggle with this, honestly. As long as you have a really nice, dense brush, I don't think you could mess this up seriously, because even if you applied a massive amount of this, it still looks really natural. I think the key is to find your shade. Stunning. I definitely, like I do with the blushes, I definitely prefer the cream over the powder, but I still wear the powder. So for me to actually wear the powder in a product, it's saying something. It is. But yeah, I would take the cream over the powder any day. Wow, from Morphe. Morphe, they can do no wrong right now for me. I did just want to quickly mention this bronzer from Colourpop, the Bronze Stix. Oh my gosh, this is probably one of the best bronzing sticks I've ever tried. So I have this in the shade La Jolla Cove. I think that's how you pronounce it. Please, I apologize if it's not. This is, wow, it's creamy, but it's not too creamy. It feels, the way I would describe this is pure silk, and the way that it blends is so effortless. This feels like a high-end bronzer, and I think it was about $10. I mean, how is that even possible? It's beautiful. Again, it's very similar to the Morphe. Not as creamy as the Morphe, but it literally just sinks into the skin. And for a quick everyday application, swipe this straight onto the face. You are good to go. Just gently warms up the skin. It's absolutely beautiful. We are so spoiled for bronzers right now. And honestly, they're all affordable and just so good. Let's talk blushes, and this was very exciting. I tried these new reformulated MAC Skinfinish Colourstruck blushes. So I tried 2 shades, Thanks It's MAC and Desert Rose, and I really like both shades, but I have honestly fallen in love with Desert Rose. It's a very, very soft pink, and I don't think I've tried such a beautifully blurring blush. So Thanks It's MAC has a radiant finish, which is really, really pretty, especially if you don't want to use or wear an extra highlighter on top. It's really nice, but there's something really special about this matte MAC formula. And for me to like a matte blush, it must be good. I do not gravitate towards them at all. I don't like how they look on my dry skin. I just don't like how they look. But this is not a flat matte. Now, there's no glow to it, there's no radiance to it or anything like that. It's not bordering satin, but just the way that it lays on the skin, it's so incredibly blurred. I was blown away, honestly, and it's so pretty and ethereal, and on my light to medium olive skin, just beautiful. I never thought that I'd want to reach for regularly a powder blush, and if you were worried because you have dry skin about trying one of these matte blushes, do not. They look beautiful. My favorite blush of May, and honestly, one of the best blushes I've ever tried. This one from Fenty. This is the Shake and Play liquid blush. I wasn't even going to buy this because I really like my liquid blushes to be glowy, but when I looked at them on the models, I thought they don't look flat at all. And oh my gosh, could you imagine if I'd not picked this up? This is the best liquid blush I've ever tried in my whole life. So I have this in the shade Wild Berry Whip, and it looks like a really, really daunting colour. But honestly, this looks so nice on light to medium skin, and especially on olive skin as well. So you do have to shake these before you use them. And I think the shaking isn't really about mixing up the products, it's about loading up the sponge tip applicator as far as I'm aware. But my biggest piece of advice to you is to go in with 1 dot at a time. The first time I ever tried this, I went in with 2 dots, and oh my gosh, it wasn't a good look, put it that way. So these are very blurring. I would definitely describe these as a natural finish, I think, depending on your base products. So if I have a glowy base on, you can definitely see more of the glow through it. People always come to me and say, I want to wear liquid blush. I love them, but they don't last on me. You will not say that about this blush. This lasts forever. This will be the last thing to remain on your face once everything else has disappeared. So I have looked at the other shades. I think there's about 6 in total. There's just none that I want. There's no other shades that I really want. I'm hoping at some point they will extend the shade range, because these are ridiculous. These are the best liquid blushes, hands down, that I've ever tried. Genuinely. Okay, I want to talk about this from Natasha Denona. This is a Sweat and Waterproof Translucent Blurring Powder. This is fine. Yeah, I thought that this was going to be the best powder I've ever tried in my whole life, and I don't usually run out and purchase powders when they are released, but the marketing went so heavy with Natasha Denona and everybody else pouring water all over their faces to prove that it is waterproof. Now, that I don't need waterproof, okay? I don't have the oils coming through, so it doesn't really bother me whether it's waterproof or not. I just want a powder to look like my skin, okay? Because it is possible. It is possible. Here's the thing. I find this kind of nice. It's kind of blurring on the skin. Do I find it to be a special formula? No, I don't. I think it's actually too finely milled for my preferences, to be quite honest with you. And it has this extra lid over the sifter, which is great, but it is so hard to get up. And it's so hard to get the main lid back on, honestly. I feel so silly when I'm trying to get the lid back on this powder. It does my absolute head in. I don't really like the consistency of the powder. It's too finely milled for me. And also, I feel like it's too bright. I feel like this does leave a little bit of a white cast on the skin if you apply too much. And I think that if you had a deeper skin tone, to me, I think you would struggle with it. I think you would find it to be too light and too brightening on the skin. Yeah, so that I have concerns with it in that respect. Is it nice? Yes, it's nice. Is it better than my Makeup by Mario? No. Is it better than my Huda Beauty? No. Better than the Givenchy? Nope. Better than the L'Oreal Blurfection? Absolutely not. So yeah, I would say to you, you don't really need this. No, you don't need it. You definitely don't need this packaging. Why? Well, what is it? Why can't I get it on? Who wants to do that every morning? I definitely don't. Yeah, it's nothing exciting, to be honest. And I would definitely not purchase it again. So Hourglass, they are very well known for their ambient lighting palettes, their holiday collections, their limited edition face palettes, beautiful formulas. I have one ambient lighting palette, whereas I know other beauty creators have every single one and they collect them. I've never been that person. Okay, so I purchased one in 2024. Wasn't interested last year in the holiday palette, and they also brought out the much sought after option to customize your own palette. So choose which blushes you wanted, bronzers, finishing powders, all the rest. This year, for some reason, in 2026, I wanted to customize my own quad. So I was very excited about it. And this is what I chose. This is how the palette looks. So it looks different to the original holiday palette. So you don't have the artwork on the front. It's just a gold case, which is beautiful, but does get very fingerprinty, which is annoying. Yeah, it looks luxurious. It is luxurious. So in this palette, you could choose 4 finishing powders, 4 blushes, 4 bronzers, whatever you want to do. I have a dedicated review to this if you want to check it out. I'll link it up here for you. So in my palette, I chose the Diffused Light Finishing Powder, which is just beautiful. You can buy this on its own as a singular. It's amazing. It really is a real life filter for the skin. I chose Rose Fusion for the blush. I chose Eternal Bronze Light for the bronzer, which is a warm bronzer. And then I chose for the strobe powder, which is basically the highlighter, I chose Celestial Strobe Light, which is insane. I actually have the highlighter and I have the finishing powder on today. Am I happy that I chose and created my own quad? Oh my gosh, absolutely. I think it was worth the money. So it cost me 83 euros for the product and to customize the quad. And with shipping in total, I think it was something like 89 euros. I do think it's worth it. Honestly, the formulas, the fact that I've got 4 products there that will last me forever. Yes, absolutely worth it. They're stunning, soft, beautiful formulas. There really is nothing like Hourglass. I think they are very, very hard to dupe. However, I have a problem in regards to the availability of these. So when the option of customizing your own quad was made available, first of all, it was only available in the US. Then it was made available in Europe for literally, I would say, a week. We had a week of being able to order these and then they disappeared entirely. Some countries, I think the UK, possibly Australia, never got the option to customize their own quad. What is the point? What is the point? Like, I get limited editions. I don't like them. I hate them. And I think that's one of the reasons I don't buy the ambient lighting palette. I don't see the point in limited edition. It's makeup. So yeah, although I don't regret purchasing it, but I'm still annoyed by it. We'll talk about some lip products. So I picked up these from Dior. These are the Dior Addict Glass Lipsticks. So these are Dior's first glossy lipsticks. So I picked up the shade 504 Dior Sweet and also 599 Adorable. I really love these. I think they are super long lasting for a glossy product. So although they are not really gloopy and sticky, they're nothing like the Dior lip glosses that they released recently. These are much more comfortable. Now, Although they are really long lasting, they feel really comfortable, they feel really nice on the lips, they are still tacky. So don't be believing people that say that they are completely tack free, because if I put my hair onto them, they are still going to stick. Look, you know, my hair's still going to stick to it. Yes, I have the Dior on today. These are absolutely lovely. 504 Dior Sweet has actually become like a shade that I carry around with me everywhere. It's just the perfect everyday nude. I love Dior lipsticks though, like they are such a favourite of mine. However, Morphe have brought out a very similar product, and they actually released these before the Dior. So these are lip lock glossy lipsticks. Guys, I'm not joking. These are pretty much the same. They're the same thing. The shade that I picked up with the Morphe, this is Court Rose. This is it's very beige on my lips. So it kind of washes me out if I don't use it with a lip liner. But with a lip liner, it is pure perfection. So these have different claims to the Dior. These claim to be a double locked system. So I think you put on the shade, leave it for a few minutes, and when the gloss wears off, you are still left with a colour behind. Now, because this is a really light shade, I don't really get a lot of colour left behind. However, I am going to order another deeper shade. I just haven't got round to it yet. Look, these are the same. If your hair brushes past your lips, it's going to stick to it. It is not tack free. However, super comfortable. They feel beautiful. These, I'm not joking, I love Dior, right? I will never not buy Dior lipsticks. However, if you do not want to spend on Dior, get the Morphe lip lock, honestly. I think the shades in the Dior are much more attractive. They are. There are not many of the Morphe lip lock that I really want, but don't be spending, what were these, 48 euros each? Like, you're talking 100 euros on two lipsticks. These, I think, were 16 euros each, worth every single penny. In fact, how much do you get in these? Oh my gosh. You actually get 4 grams in the Morphe and 2.7 in the Dior. See, people say in the drugstore always give us less. That is not true. Okay, that is not true. But yeah, if you want the Dior, but you don't want to pay the Dior price, get the Morphe. Honestly, it just makes more sense. I did just want to mention the Sephora collection lip liners. So it's taken me a while to try the Sephora collection lip liners, even though people always recommend them to me. So these are the 8-hour colourful transfer proof lip liners. Oh my gosh, these are so good. I think this cost me about 12 euros-ish and worth every single penny. These are, for me, these have the most perfect consistency. So they are creamy, but they are super long lasting. I don't like really draggy, dry lip liners, even if it means that they last. I would much rather reapply. These are really long lasting, and oh my gosh, the color is perfection. So I have the shade 02 Soft Suede, and I am going to pick up quite a few more of these lip liners. These are absolutely beautiful, and I've really enjoyed using it. I think these are really underrated, genuinely, and I can understand now why people constantly recommend these lip liners to me. Definitely worth it. I adore these. So if you want creamy, long-lasting lip liners, these from Sephora collection, stunning. So I think I'm going to leave it there because I am slowly burning and melting and boiling in my own skin. I know I'm starting to look shinier and shinier as the video has gone on. That was a really good month of makeup. I really enjoyed May. I mean, I know there were highs and lows, but look, you get that with makeup, but it's important to be honest about what worked and what didn't work. So please do let me know, what were your favorite makeup products or beauty products in general that you tried in May? Let me know everything down in the comments. Thank you so much for joining me for this video. I so appreciate you being here with me. I'm really looking forward to seeing you in the next video. But until then, take care and bye for now.